Hi, Ruben. Just on Ahmad, do you know when he might be back at all?
I don't know. I think he's going to play still. He's still playing this season. I don't know when, but we are really confident on that.
Christian Eriksen said while he was on international duty that he was already looking ahead at the prospects of leaving in the summer. I think he's out of contract. Victor Lindelof, Johnny Evans, Tom Heaton are. Do you expect all those players to leave at the end of their deals?
We'll see. We are thinking about next season, but we have a lot of things to do. We know that Europa League can change a lot of things in our club, so we are focused on the present, not just on the future.
Jamie.
Hi, Ruben. After the derby game on Sunday, a supporters group called the 1958 plan a sit-in, at the Old Trafford, that they're not going to leave their seats, and they say this is because they're concerned about rising ticket prices for your fans for Old Trafford, and it's a sort of eroding of fan culture, pricing out the sort of people who've been there for decades, basically. Do you sort of, can you see that point of view? What do you think about that?
I can see that point of view. I think everybody here can see that point of view, can understand how frustrated they are. Again, the only thing that I can help in that situation is winning games, winning Europa League, to have more money, to have more flexibility in the budget, to assess all these things. So I will try to do my part to help that fans, but we all people here understand the frustration of the fans.
Dave.
Hi, Bruno. Sorry, Ruben. Bruno Fernandes has been. It's been a long break.
I had the very feeling.
Bruno's been this kind of standout player this season, once again for Manchester United. There's been talk at the weekend about Real Madrid maybe being interested in him. Not going to happen at all.
No. It's not going to happen.
But he revealed that he had offers and he had to think about them in the summer before he signed his contract. Would it surprise you if he maybe felt in this coming summer that maybe it's time for him to move? He's 30 years old now. Maybe he feels that everything he wants to achieve he can't achieve here in terms of winning big prizes.
That is the challenge. I want Bruno here because, like I said, in maybe in the lowest moments of our season, we want to win the Premier League again. So we want the best players to continue with us, and this is 29, I think, but he's still so young because he plays 55 games every season. Between assists and goals, he's there for 30 at least. So he's the type of player that we want here. So he's not going anywhere.
Just on that, actually, Ruben, how are you so sure about that with Bruno? Have you had these kind of conversations? Obviously he shows his sort of love for the club, I suppose, in other ways in terms of the foundation and the talking with the academy players. But how do you know that from your position?
We are in control of the situation, and I feel that he's really happy here, especially because he understands what we want to do, and then I think he's one more supporter of Manchester United, and he really feel it. And sometimes the frustration that you see, everybody sees and say that maybe it's not a good thing in a captain, it's a sign that he wants this so bad. So this is the kind of player that we want, and he's not going anywhere because I already told him.
Just one on Chido Obi, if I can, because obviously it's the FA Youth Cup tonight. Am I right in saying that he's going to play in that and still be okay for you tomorrow, or you're just going to?
No, he's going to play. He's going to play today because we try to imagine the next game, and then if we look before, he was on the bench and just played played against Fulham, but then 10 minutes in the end of the game, and we have to manage also the minutes. We have to give the minutes to the kid. So tomorrow I try to imagine the game. I imagine also that it's really important for our young kids to feel that the energy, also the game is really important for us. We want to win that competition. We are trying to build something with the youth, and one of the good things in the academy plays that they have that feeling of winning. So we are trying to manage everything, and Chido needs to play also. So we are helping the team and the player.
Chris. Hi, Ruben. Just on Marcus again, since we last spoke to you, he's obviously come back into the England team, played twice and scored his first goals on loan at Aston Villa. I appreciate completely that you have a lot of focus on the games that you have, but are you at least keeping an eye on what's going on with him at Villa, and is the door open for him to come back at the end of the season?
I know Rashford really well. and everybody knows the talent that he has. So I already spoke about that. He's a top player if he wants. So I'm not surprised. And like I said, it's the same with Antony. It's a good thing. We see our players doing well on loan in a different context. That can happen. It's a good sign for the club.
If he wants it and if the club wants it, there is still a future here for him.
Guys, let's focus on the game. We are really happy for our players that are on loan doing well.
Ken. Sorry, I was just going to ask if Antony is in the same situation as Rashford. You know, we appreciate that you've got games, but you're also planning for the future. So, in your head, can you envisage Antony and Rashford being part of your squad next season?
I'm planning the future, but I don't want to talk about the future in this moment. I just want to focus on the game.
Any more? Got one, James, over here.
Bruno, just over the years you've seen United that they have spent a lot of money on players, and often players sometimes who are older or a bigger name. Do you think fans will see under you a shift to a younger profile of player that you will look to sort of sign and bring in? And it might be quite a different approach that the club's taken in the past, you know, both in terms of the money that they spend and the sort of age profile of players.
We have to do something different, but then depend of the cases, of the position, of the experience of the players, of the opportunity of the market. So I don't want to say that we are going to do just this. We are trying to look things in a different way because we have to change something. But anything can happen. But our focus is to build something for not just for the present, but a long run. So we will see.
Last question, Richard.
Yeah, hi Ruben. I'm just wondering about Antony Elanga. He obviously left this club before you arrived, but so wondering partly what you made of how he's gone on to do better things at Nottingham Forest, and is that the sort of player that maybe United should be trying to keep, or do some players just have to leave?
It's a different expectation, a different club. So we cannot compare sometimes players in the different context, in a different way of playing. But of course, and you can see Elanga is playing now as a second striker, number 10. So sometimes some coaches see something in the player and can help them to be better. But again, this is a different club, and you know that the pressure that we have here, and sometimes players can adapt or not. So we try to make decisions on facts, what we see, and sometimes we see one thing, and then they go to a different club and they can play in a different way. So sometimes you get right, sometimes you get wrong.
Thank you.
Thank you.